Right, time to get this fender. Now, I do this a little bit different because the last time I done this worked and the other way didn't. I've got a longer bit of hose and I doubled it up like that either side of the center tread pattern, I guess you'd call it. Some people chuck a thicker bit of hose, or I've seen a few different ways, but normally one piece up through the middle. Every time I've done it with what's been suggested, the fender is like way too high. So I found that this worked for me well last time, so I'm going to do it the same. This is a 5/16 hose, that's the internal, or 7.9mm fuel hose. The outside is thicker than that. I don't know exactly what it is. I think it'd be around about 12mm, 13mm maybe on the outside. But anyway, we'll see how this goes. Oh, you fuck. Now, the good thing about this is if you have a single piece running down the middle, you can't lower it or make it any higher. What I can do with this though is I can drag these out to the next rung down, and then if I need to get it a little bit lower, if it looks ridiculous. Now, that's pretty good. It's covering up most of the sidewall, most of the tread, and it's pretty even all the way around it. It's not sitting right up really high, so that's got room to run. We can put something across here to mount that to down there. We've got our screw holes in there, screw holes, bolt holes, and now, and it hasn't got too bad of a gap. Main thing is these sides are definitely out the way. This middle is definitely out, and it rises up on this guard in the middle, so it should be fine. So I'll fiddle around with that a little bit, and I guess the next step is probably make some mounts for it. I actually made some spare mounts. I think I did. I don't know why I left them, but I didn't use them. Maybe I made one extra mount the last time I mounted one of these, so half the work's done there, but I'll have to make up these tabs and get it in the center and look over it all and make sure it is actually sitting all right, because there's nothing worse than you got a fender with a massive fucking gap between it and the tyre. Looks like shit. So I've just taped it down hard tight, and now it's ready for mounting. I've got to make some mounts though. This frame doesn't come with a bottom mount for the fender, so got to make our own one of them. I'll show you what I'm talking about when I weld it in. Okay, bit of rough shaping of the mounts. I'll clean them up a bit, obviously. Okay, so what I'm thinking, like that, make use of the angle, and then this one here, this is what I was saying about the, I'm going to do that one arm. This is what I was saying about the bottom mount not being there. I reckon I'll butt that up against that and then weld that, and that'll go in the middle. I've just got to make it like a bung, so that'll probably go about there. That's that. Mounted to that. That's them. Just got to get the right size screws, and then I'm not going to worry about this bit because this will be mounted with the sissy bar that comes up to stabilise that. Right, so I made these, you wouldn't call them bungs, but oh, fuck knows what you call them, let's call them bungs. Out of some punched bits of steel out of the big press at the workshop. And then all I did is I drilled them and tapped them. And I've used these before as fender mounts. So all I do is I find the right size bolt, which they're probably going to be right. By the time I put a washer on that, that'll bring that back through nice and flush. And then all I do is put it on there like so. I tack my plate, I tack my plate on, I tack my bung on, and then pretty much undo it all, fully weld it. And yeah, this excess here, I'll probably just weld up the sides, and then I'll just skim along there with a thin cutting blade and then weld it along the front instead of trying to mark it before I cut it. It'll just make things a bit easier. So that's that, and obviously I'm going to do the same for the bottom, except I'm one bung short, so I'm going to have to either make one, or I might use a nut and just weld it there. I don't know about that though. Well, the reason I use these over nuts is just a bit bigger surface area to weld. Anyway, we'll see what happens. So I'm going to mount them underneath. It doesn't interfere with anything that way. They're out of the way, even though you're not going to see them up there. But when I go to do the seat, no doubt something will foul up on them. So I'm going to mount them underneath, and then you don't see them. Makes it look a little bit more cleaner. I just want you to make note of something. When you're mounting your fender, make sure that your wheel is adjusted fairly forward. Or you could do like some people, and when you're mocking it all up, you have the wheel all the way back. So that means there's no chain adjustment. My wheel was all the way back, thus my fender was all the way back. So when it come time to put the chain on or just slide me tyre forward a bit, I wouldn't have had it. Just would have slid hard into the fender. So if that makes sense, I don't know. Yeah, just remember while you're mounting the fender, don't have your wheel all the way back. If anything, all the way forward. All right, that's all the mounts. I'm not going to leave them looking like this, obviously. I'll cut them off nice and smooth. But that's all the mounts, all tacked on, except for these ones that will come off the sissy bar when that's made. So now what I've got to do is I'll undo all this tape and unscrew the guard, take that off, fully weld all the tabs that I've tacked onto the guard, and fully weld all the tabs that are on the frame, and it should be pretty right. I'm not going to tack this up fully yet until I know 100% certain that, sorry, I'm not going to weld it up fully yet until I'm 100% certain that's where it's going to be. But everything else, that's all welded, they're all welded, and that's done. Now, the next thing, weld this guard up, these little suckers, and that's it. Sissy bar time, I think. Done. So I guess I can, I think that's right, put the fender back on, put the tyre back on, and I guess get started on making a sissy bar. And then that's it. That should be all the mounting and everything like that done. That'll kill two birds with one stone. Sissy bar and fender then finished. All right, all done. All right, all fully welded. I guess we can mount that back up, and then the next thing to do is the sissy bar. I can't finish the mounts. Look, I need to, it's a catch-22. You gotta have mounts for the sissy bar that are gonna be on the fender, and they'll also double up as fender mounts. So that should be right to rock and roll. We'll put this back on, make sure. We'll put this back on, make sure that it's all going to mount up. It's probably been a little bit of distortion because of the heat and everything like that, but it should be able to be brought back to where it needs to be. That's going to happen regardless. That helps. I can adjust that wherever we want. Worst case, we can put a bigger bolt in and go the other way. This is all stuff I've already said, no doubt, but where the fuck did I put that spanner? Obviously, all these little sharp bits and everything, they're going to get cleaned up eventually. And actually lined up pretty well. I was thinking that once you get a bit of heat into them, normally things don't go back to where they were, but if you tack everything pretty well, that really helps. That's it. All right, one fender mounted. Which looks pretty straight. It's pretty firm. I made the mounts really beefy. You know, you probably don't need to have another one, but look, we're going to have a sissy bar on here anyway, so why not take advantage of it and make everything a little bit more stiffer. All right, that's it, done. Rear fender mounted, cut. That's it.